Welcome to Hub City Spokes. We are doing a micro season in partnership with the Lubbock Cultural Arts Foundation, and we have our friends Frank and Tom here at the Lubbock Moonlight Musicals, and they're going to tell us a little bit about the program. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes.
So for those that don't know or haven't been out to a show yet, hopefully soon to be, what can they expect out at the amphitheater?
So our amphitheater season is a one-of-a-kind experience. You enter in, it's a beautiful landscape hidden kind of in Mackenzie Park. A lot of people are like, where in Mackenzie Park? It's like, oh, there's this cool playa lake, and then right behind it, there's this amphitheater that you have to kind of sneak your way into almost.
I love it. It's like nestled right in there.
It is. It's nestled in the hill. And it creates, the playa lake creates a beautiful backdrop to the stage itself. So when you walk in from the top of the hill, you kind of get a bird's eye view of the whole place, and it looks pretty magical when you walk in. You're like, wow, I just kind of stepped out of Lubbock in a sense, and walked into this beautiful place, and immediately you just kind of feel like I'm ready to see a show. It's really amazing. You find your seats in one of our many terraces. They're grass terraces, so we ask people to bring lawn chairs, but we can provide chairs too if you need. Picnic dinners,
yeah, it's
things
kind of
like
fun
that.
to like take a blanket out and just kind of set it up, especially if you have kiddos. You can kind of just set out some snacks for them or whatnot, and it's super comfortable and very inviting.
No, really, that's one of the things of like we want to provide a full evening's entertainment for a family, of being able to say, I've got the kids or I've got some family coming in from out of town, and we want to go out and see a nice show, have some good food, and really get that full encompassing entertainment of it's not just like going out to see a movie, it's something way more involved. That it is, you're looking at the performers, you're watching them put it on, you're seeing how the sets move on and off the stage. You are really being able to appreciate the hard work that goes into these shows, because it is so much work and so much dedication from the amazing people that we have performing for us.
Yeah, can you give them an idea of what kind of shows they might see when they go out?
Absolutely. So our book of music theater that we pull from is generally family-friendly stuff. All of your Rodgers and Hammerstein shows like Oklahoma and The Sound of Music, South Pacific, wonderful shows. But also some modern stuff. We've done Shrek the Musical, Seussical the Musical, which was a really cool kind of culmination of all of these Dr. Seuss stories and music rolled into one.
I'm not too involved in the theater, but I saw Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Yes.
I don't know if that falls into the first category you
Absolutely
mentioned.
it does.
It's so fun. I really enjoy it. And it's interesting too because the quality of the talent is superb. Can you tell us about how you pull talent?
Yes. Well, Lubbock is just not short on talent. There is so much talent in Lubbock, Texas. And it just takes people knowing about us, and it just takes people coming out and auditioning to showcase that, just for us to be like, wow, that's amazing. Please come be in our shows.
So can people can come and audition?
Yes.
Do you have open calls, or how does that work?
Absolutely. So we generally we'll announce a season, and then a little bit down the road, we'll announce when auditions will be held and basically how auditions will happen or run. And so anyone wanting to do so just kind of sends us an email saying, hey, I want to audition, and they give you a time and a date, and you show up with your song and your monologue, do your performance, and then we give you a call back.
How fun. Yeah. I have a feeling my daughter is going to want to do that
Please.
at some point. So do you post on Facebook, or how can people see these shows coming?
Yeah, well, we definitely have a very strong presence on Facebook, but we also have our website, moonlightmusicals.com. And really we are trying to make sure that our communication is always clear and always up to date, so that if you go to our website or you go to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of these ways to reach us, that you always get up-to-date stuff. Because really we want to make sure that our auditions are open. Our auditions are open and welcome to literally everyone in the town. We like to culture that and help train them, and we've had people that have trained to become directors now, or conductors or designers that have come up through the ranks, I guess, as you have, as unofficially as we have ranks, to really learn off of each other and learn off of the resources that we have available to us. We have some top-notch schools here with Texas Tech and South Plains and Lubbock Christian that those instructors have also been able to help us out. And it's really amazing that anytime someone is at all interested, that we are wanting to provide a place for them to come and to learn and to showcase their talents.
Yeah, it definitely. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say there is a key person that we love to kind of work with and find, and it's these people in particular. And so I hope you're listening at home. For those of you who did choir in high school, maybe did a musical with your high school one time, and it was kind of this incredible, exhilarating experience, and then you never did it again, you're who we're looking for, right? Because anytime we get the people coming into our auditions that go, well, I did this once in high school, and it was really, really fun, and, I've just had this whole life thing happen. I'm an adult now, I have kids or whatever, and but something has called me back. And the moment they audition and they're scared, of course, stage fright is a real thing, and I get it, and we all get it, and that's fine. But the moment they pass through that and they're in their first show and they do their first performance, that's it.
They're hooked.
Hooked, right? Because it's one of just the most rewarding and amazing, exhilarating experiences that you can have of just getting to be on that stage and jump into another character and perform for an audience that appreciates it and will applaud and talk to you after about like, oh, it was so amazing. And just there's nothing like it. And so we're come on out.
I totally agree with that. It's so funny because I like say this nervous, like in a nervous way, but like I'm totally that person.
Yes.
I was in choir in high school, and I was in a performance of the Pink Panther.
Awesome.
Because my friend who did theater, she said, "You got to do it. It's so much fun." And I had a blast. It was the best because you just develop such good camaraderie with the entire cast, and it's fun to perform. Like, it's fun to put on a different persona and just to kind of like, and I love that Lubbock Moonlight Musicals like invites the community to do that. Whether you're, like you said, like a mom that loves to sing in the shower, or like a husband who like maybe does like a rap while he's like mowing the lawn or something.
Exactly
Like,
right.
who knows,
Exactly
and
right.
it's just so cool though that you can just like have that release, and that's awesome.
Well,
Very
and
cool.
like you're saying with that camaraderie, it is finding a family in theater, and that people from all different walks of life, people from all different backgrounds can come together and really make a family with each other over these shows, which is why our next season, which we're going to announce very, very soon, some legal things that we're getting through, but when we announce it, all of the shows in our season have to do with finding family.
That's
All of
actually,
them have to do-
we kind of themed and titled our seasons. And so our upcoming 2021-22 season is entitled Finding Family. And so all of the shows within the season, 5 shows that we'll be producing, will have in its kind of thematic underpinning something about family and the quest of either finding it, keeping it, maintaining it, growing it, which is a really beautiful thing.
You guys are such great examples of the art scene here, like the arts community and pulling people into the arts community. Can you now speak to the arts community in general?
Sure. I mean, the arts community here is superb. There's so much of it through all of our amazing dance companies that are in town, through all of our amazing visual arts organizations, especially here at Luca, and what Luca promotes and what they bring to us every first Friday. Amazing theater companies, Lubbock Community Theater, Will of the Wind, Texas Tech, just incredible people wanting to just bring art to the community. Engaging the community is what we're after. I don't think any of us are after being stars. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's amazing to get to play the lead. It's amazing to get kind of the adoration and a bit of the applause. But we do it for a much larger reason, and that's for the Lubbock community. There is no amount of applause or, admiration that equals just the gratitude of someone coming after, meeting someone after the show and them saying, "Thank you for doing this. This was so fun for me and my family to get to watch and to get to see." So for those reasons, I think the arts community here is amazing. Stacy Keith and the Cultural Arts Foundation is doing an insanely amazing job of bringing us into even closer community. So we're very thankful for that.
Definitely. So what brought you guys into what you do now? I'm so curious. Like, what got you involved in the theater?
Oh, fine, I'll take it. Okay. So I first came to Lubbock studying opera over at Texas Tech, and I got to know Gerald Dolter, who was the founder of Moonlight Musicals. Mm-hmm. And he offered me a position so that I could work for Moonlight over the summer. So that instead of having to go back home once school is out, I was able to come up here and work on 3 shows a summer of acting and performing in them, and then also building sets. And from then on, all of my time in Lubbock, Moonlight has been there in some aspect, as far as some sort of home for the arts, for music, for performance. And it has been really great to come in and out of it. Recently, I've been finishing up a master's in arts administration, and through that, I was able then to get more of an official internship with Moonlight, and been really, really lucky and fortunate to then step up into a marketing and development role to really help and put energy back into the company. Because I think that's also an amazing thing that you see. Moonlight pours a lot of itself into its workers, into its actors and performers and designers. And so that when I got the chance to pour myself back into it, I snatched it up as fast as I could.
Yeah, it's cool that it came full circle. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Well, my story is not unlike Tom's. I came to Lubbock, Texas, to Texas Tech from Garland, Texas. I spent my life as a choir kid, as I was mentioning before, so I'm speaking to all of you guys who are like me. I grew up in choir, and it was my favorite thing in the world. It was my life. It's where I found my identity through middle school, high school. And I had such a relationship with my choir directors there in Garland, and one of them really kind of said, "Hey, there's this guy out in Lubbock. His name is Carl Dent, who ultimately became my voice teacher." So I came to Texas Tech to study music education. I wanted to be a choir director. But after some time of working through that, my voice teacher kind of just said, "Hey, you've got something that not a lot of people have, and I want you to try and work on that, cultivate that a little bit." So he kind of led me down more of a path of performing. I began singing opera, much like Tom did, and once I left Texas Tech, I started singing opera kind of around the country, and found my way back to Lubbock, and started working with a children's theater company, Hub Performing Arts. Paula Chanda, hi. She really gave me my first opportunity to kind of be in this industry, in this world of musical theater, which to me was a little bit different, but there were so many similarities to opera. I mean, you're telling a story and you're doing it through music and through song. And I really fell in love with this art form. It wasn't long after that, Daniel Hogan. He was a director at the time for Moonlight Musicals, a consummate artist, professional, an amazing human being, lives in New York. He was directing a dinner theater production over at the Ice House Theater here of Little Shop of Horrors. And he gave me a call and was like, "Hey, would you like to come and be a part of this production?" And it'd been a while since I had performed because I was just teaching for a while. I was just like, you know what? there was that calling, right?
Mhm,
I
yeah,
kind of
that
need to come
invitation.
back.
Yeah,
And once I was there and did my first production with Moonlight Musicals, I've never left. Immediately after that production, Gerald Dolter said, "Hey, we have an opening in this upcoming musical this summer, Titanic. Could you play such part?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I did that. That's where I met my fiance. Tom and I also share the
That was a fun summer for us.
right.
So Titanic was the last show in the summer. Is where I first got to work with Frank. I saw him in Little Shop of Horrors. Bravo. But we got to work in Titanic. The show right before that was South Pacific, and that's where I ended up meeting my wife, who was assistant director. And then another couple of friends of ours also met romantically that summer as well. It was just
well, there you go.
summer of
You
love.
might be able to be a
Right.
part of a show and then meet your significant other.
Yes, very much so.
It's musical mingle, guys. Come on.
How funny. Okay, so I want to hear some unexpected things about the arts. Maybe things about theater people don't think about.
Sure.
Or maybe when they go to a show, they should just be really appreciative of this. Because maybe you've been in this costume for like 12 hours and you're just
Gotcha.
absolutely exhausted. Tell us all the secrets.
I mean, here's the beauty of musical theater is that it is a live and breathing kind of living organism, and it changes constantly. No show, you can do 9 performances of the same show and not a single performance be the same one. So there was something that people can appreciate is with costuming. There was a production we did Shrek the musical. I played the donkey in that performance, and the costume was basically full fur from head to toe. And we're talking, this was our June show.
Oh, no.
We opened the season in June, so we're talking, triple digits.
Yeah.
And when you're on a concrete stage, the sun is just reflecting off of that. So it's probably 15 degrees hotter on the stage than it is out in the audience. So I'm kind of encased in fur, and I'm just sweating bullets the entire show. It went as far as I had an amazing person, Dr. Michelle Tarbox. Thank you so much for this. She was in this production also, but she just saw how just like sweaty and gross like I was constantly. She brought me ice packs every single performance, pinned them into my costume, so I had some relief from the heat, and then would switch them out at intermission.
That is so kind.
And that's a testament to just the camaraderie that you mentioned, to the family aspect of doing these productions. We are constantly watching out for one another. So when something goes awry, the whole cast immediately descends upon the issue, and we solve it together.
Yeah.
We had a production of The Music Man a couple of summers ago, in which the electrical transformer blew right before the production. All the electricity in the theater just went out. We called LP&L. Here's the other amazing thing, is that our audience is so loyal and amazing that we told them the situation, and they were like, well, we'll just sit here until it gets fixed.
Yeah.
And they did. The LP&L came out. Props to LP&L for coming out and fixing the problem instantaneously. And we basically just skipped intermission, went right through the show, and we got the audience out on time.
Oh, that's
Like
awesome.
it was so crazy.
Yeah, they're totally invested. They want to see that show. They're not gonna.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You have any?
Well, just I guess for the audience, realizing how many roles even the actors you see on stage do. One of my first productions was Peter Pan out at the amphitheater, and so I was a pirate, and part of my also roles was I was working the fly system for Peter, John, and Wendy, and so there were a couple times then when I was having to be on stage, moving a set piece, then getting back in the costume for a number, and then running back over to hoist up a character so that they could fly across stage. And so really just like everything is all intermingled together. All these people have so many different hats.
There's a lot of moving parts
Yes.
to theater.
That's kind of the adrenaline though, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Like you mentioned, the show's not always identical. So maybe the next show you get a little bit more, loud in your part you're supposed to say, or so, you get a little more freedom in expressing it.
And that's the beauty for the actors themselves is over the course of 9 productions, you discover more. Like we spend, a month rehearsing the production, so you get to know your character well, and you're able to communicate what your character wants to say. But as each show goes on, you just get more and more comfortable in that character. So the performances also start to kind of just liven up and shine by the end of the production. And once you get so comfortable in something, you're just able to give more, which is really great. I have one other little anecdote as a performer. We were doing that same production of The Music Man, and I was singing in the quartet. There's a quartet of gentlemen that come out and sing these barbershop songs throughout the production. And the one production in particular, we were standing up on a balcony, and the lights were dimmed on the stage. Spotlight was on us. We were getting ready to breathe and sing this beautiful chord. I take in a breath, and I swallow a fly.
No. Oh no.
Fly goes right into my mouth, and I'm just like, immediately, just like the fear and panic is on my face, and I had no choice but to just breathe that fly in and keep going.
Oh my god.
It was. I don't tell that story often, but for many reasons. But it's just
you never know what you'll.
You never know what's going to happen, and you never know, because to the audience they didn't see it. Right? From that far away, from what's going on, they didn't notice it. But I'm here like in panic mode. Like, am I going to be able to even sing a note here? And but it all went well. It was great.
So to you at home, appreciate the actors because you don't know what they're going through.
Right.
Okay, so one more time, if someone wants to be part of a musical, they can follow you on Facebook and follow you on your website, moonlightmusicals.com.
Yes.
Okay. And then you're announcing the season soon, the 2021.
Yeah, so keep your eyes peeled to our Facebook page. If you are visiting our website, take a look. Instagram, we'll put it on all of our social media outlets. We'll even try and get it in the paper and on some radio around. But we will be announcing our season soon. 5 shows beginning in June of next year. The season is Finding Family, so bring your family out, and please, we welcome you. Come and audition if you have a hankering for getting back up on the stage, perhaps coming to a stage near you.
How fun.
We would love to have you.
Oh, man. Well, we appreciate having you guys here very much. Thank you for all you do for arts communities. So for more about the arts, visit LubbockCulturalArts.org.